Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight, of course, like usual, we're going to be hanging out for a couple of hours. There are a bunch of different things to talk about, some that are follow-ups to other situations that I've covered, some that are brand new, some that I plan to talk about tomorrow. Just a lot of news over the past 2 days. So, tonight we're going to be talking about Halo Infinite, first of all. You guys know I live streamed Halo Infinite when it came out. I'm a huge fan of the Halo franchise, and I liked Halo Infinite. I actually thought that it was pretty solid. I was pretty impressed with what they gave us, especially after how bad Halo 5 was. I was really happy that they put Infinite out, and it was really good, but unfortunately, like a lot of new games, it died off very quickly. Developers, they come up with a game, they create a game, they release it, and then they just kind of set it and forget it. They don't really care. They release the content that they created, and they expect it to make money for a massive amount of time, and they don't really care after that about consumers. And that is exactly what happened with Halo Infinite. They put the game out, it did really well, and that was it. They didn't release any new multiplayer maps, they didn't talk about DLC, they didn't talk about future updates, and everything went kind of quiet on it. But now, Halo Infinite is being review bombed on Steam after a recent developer update. So we're going to be talking about the new Halo Infinite review bomb. We're going to be talking about, oh god, misogyny. That's it. Okay, guys, listen, whenever I say that word, it makes me cringe, and I hate using the word cringe. But all of these terms like racism and misogyny are just thrown around so much by the media, gaming media, entertainment. But that's the story. We're going to be talking about the God of War director claiming male critics of female-led Marvel projects are misogynistic, homophobic, and racist. Now, this kind of ties in to all of the other things I've been talking about recently with, you know, new projects being announced or coming out, people criticizing it because it's just not a good product, and then individuals like this coming out and attacking anyone who dares to criticize a product. Look at Rings of Power. If you criticize it, you're an ist, you're a phobe. If you're criticizing the new Little Mermaid movie, you're a racist. And unfortunately, this is straight out of the hack journalism playbook. But I wanted to talk about this because, of course, individuals like this love to group everyone together. You know, if you don't like something right off the bat or you criticize something, clearly you have to be an ist. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about The Little Mermaid. This, of course, has been a very hot topic over the past couple of days. I want to say a week. It's not been quite a week yet, but it's almost been a week, because the Little Mermaid trailer released and it instantly faced massive backlash. As you can see, it's at 12 million views, 1.5 million dislikes in the first 24 hours. It had hit almost 1 million dislikes, and it has been going, and there's been a lot of ridiculous articles coming out trying to of course, like I just said, paint any criticism as racism. You know, this is an article that came out yesterday. The racist backlash to Halle Bailey's The Little Mermaid is out of control. This is an article that highlights the fact that people are criticizing this new trailer and this new movie, and they say, you know, the racist backlash, yet this article doesn't show any racist backlash at all. It just shows people legitimately criticizing it, like The Little Mermaid underwater shots versus Avatar, The Way of the Water shots, which those two movies look very, very different. So we're going to be talking about The Little Mermaid, and we're also going to be talking about the Rings of Power. You guys know the news with the Rings of Power has not calmed down. There is still much to cover, and of course I've been making videos as often as I feel they need to be made on the Rings of Power, but now Prime Video is being accused of buying praise for the show, which of course isn't really that surprising. Clearly Amazon has been manipulating review scores on IMDb and also on the Prime Video show page. They have been, what it seems like, is purchasing positive praise on social media through news outlets, and this is just, I wish that I could say I was surprised. Like, I wish that I trusted companies, I wish that I trusted the individuals behind this project, but I really don't. And of course, you know, if Amazon wasn't silencing criticism, maybe I would feel like, you know what, let's give some time to see what happens, but of course they want everyone who is criticizing it to be silenced. So to me, it doesn't give me much hope that they're being genuine and just allowing people to say their thoughts on social media. They should be able to just brush off any criticism and be like, if you don't like it, who cares? But unfortunately for them, they have poured over $1 billion into this series, and it is facing a massive amount of backlash, and they cannot stand that. So those are the topics that we are going to be discussing tonight, but welcome on in, everyone. I hope that your evening is going good. Welcome to the live stream. It's been a couple of days since I live streamed. Usually I live stream on Sundays, but I did not get a chance to live stream this past Sunday, so yeah. It's been an extra day. It feels weird. There were also some directs today. There was a Nintendo Direct, and there was a PlayStation Showcase, and you guys know I usually like to stream those, but one was at like 11 a.m. and one was at like 4 p.m. and they literally were 15 to 20 minutes each. It drives me fucking nuts. So first of all, they only announced them 2 days ago. They're only 20 minutes long each, and they're not back to back, so I didn't stream them because there really wasn't a point. I mean, a half-hour stream seems kind of weird. But I probably at the end of this stream will talk about my thoughts on the new announcements and kind of information that we've gotten. There really wasn't anything besides release dates. I mean, at the PlayStation event, there were a couple of new games announced, like Tekken 8, and a few new like samurai games that were announced. But there wasn't, you know, there wasn't like an Elden Ring DLC, which is all that I wanted, which we didn't get. At the Nintendo event, we got the release date for Breath of the Wild 2, which is called Tears of the Kingdom, I want to say. So yeah, we'll talk about that kind of at the end of stream if you guys want. But yeah, hi guys, how are you all doing? I hope that your evening is going well. Tears of the Kingdom, yeah, that's what it is, Rover. It's, I mean, I've been excited for it. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's not like we saw, you know, 20 minutes worth of gameplay or something, but at least we have the title of it now and the release date. It's really not that far away. May? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Because clearly Amazon doesn't learn. Oh yeah, of course they don't. I mean, ultimately they've spent $1 billion on this series. I get that they don't want people to hate it because they need people to like it in order to make money from it. And I mean, they said that they plan to do multiple more seasons. And if they're going to do multiple seasons, then they need people to like the show. But it's just fucking trash. It's just not good. There's very little about it that is actually good. And they need to kind of just learn that people are allowed to criticize products. But unfortunately, you know, we know how that goes. They just want people to shut up and consume product. Evening, Vera. Hello, hello. You can only play games with either golf or water puzzles, Vera. I guess I'm not playing video games anymore. What do you think of the new Woke Willow movie? I don't know. When they announced another Willow movie, I didn't expect it to be good. Like the Hocus Pocus movie that's coming out in in a couple of weeks, actually, at this point. Hocus Pocus 2, I don't expect that to be good, even though I have a lot of nostalgia for something like Willow, something like Hocus Pocus 2. I don't expect these movies to be good, because we know that they're going to fuck them up in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's through casting, story changes. I don't expect continuations with large time gaps to be good. It's not like the other movie came out like 3 years ago and this is a sequel. No, we're talking in some cases 20 years, 30 years difference. Can't expect those movies to be good, unfortunately. It would be extremely hard. And when it comes to Willow, I mean, when we saw the first footage of it, I want to say about half a year ago, unfortunately, I just went, okay, I've got to accept the fact that this is going to be trash. It doesn't look good. I'll watch it when it comes out. I will give it a fair chance. But it doesn't look good. Well, it was a classic, don't touch it. That's the way that I view it. It's like with Hocus Pocus. I grew up watching Hocus Pocus. I love Hocus Pocus. It does not need a sequel. And they didn't bring any of the other actors back besides the 3 witches. You know, I don't see the appeal to it, to a sequel. I gave up on movies a while ago, so I don't blame you. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I don't really get excited for continuations with large time gaps anymore. Because they all end up to be, well, 95% of them end up being trash. The new Willow movie does look visually stunning, though. I don't want to completely disagree, but I feel very neutral on it right now. I don't think that it looks visually stunning, but I don't think that it looks terrible. I'm kind of in the middle right now. Just wondering if the Lord of the Rings Gollum video game will be fun when it comes out. I hope that it's going to be fun. It does look questionable visually. Speaking of visuals, it maybe looks a little, I don't know, I kind of want to say outdated. But there's still, from the last time we saw footage of it, there was still a lot of time, and it has been delayed, so there's a lot of time until it comes out. So we'll see what happens, how much it can be polished and prepped before it releases. The gameplay looks fun, though, and I'm all for a Gollum video game. Seems pretty exciting to me. But we'll see. I mean, I'm willing to give most things a chance. Even if I initially think they look bad, I'm willing to be fair and, you know, try them out or watch them. Unfortunately, most stuff that comes out now is bad. Willow 2 looks as visually stunning as Avatar 2, yet I'm buying into the hype about them. See, I feel very different about Avatar 2 versus Willow 2. I am very excited for Avatar 2, and I think that it looks fucking great. But Willow 2, I'm just not feeling excited for. And I just don't look at it and go, wow, that's visually stunning. We'll see. I'll give it a chance, but I'm definitely feeling very different about them. Gollum won't be good, I'm sorry. I mean, only time will tell. Comes out in, I think now the time release window is spring 2023, but I don't actually think that there's a date. In my head, I'm thinking February, but I think I'm thinking February because I was thinking of Hogwarts Legacy that was delayed, and that was supposed to come out right around the same time. So, yeah. It is what it is. Hopefully things will come out and be good and not absolutely dog shit. You know, that's just the unfortunate thing about all of these movies and TV shows, and I want them to be good. They just are trash. They're just not good. But alright, guys, before we start talking about Lord of the Rings and we get into movie discussion and TV discussion, let's start off with some Halo Infinite news. Now, you guys know or maybe you do. When Halo Infinite first came out, I played it on stream on release day. I was very excited for Halo Infinite, and I actually loved it for the most part. I thought that it was a pretty good game overall. I played it at launch. I have replayed it since then, and I thoroughly enjoyed my experience with Halo Infinite. But unfortunately, after launch, it just kind of died out very quickly. I mean, you guys have seen on my channel for a couple of months, I would occasionally stream multiplayer. I did enjoy it, but there was nothing new coming out for it. And as someone who sees all of these new games coming out and plays a lot of new games coming out, to get me to return to your title, you have to be releasing content. Now, I'm not saying you have to release new content every week or even every month, every couple of months. Yes, new content needs to come out for a game. But with Halo Infinite, it was just abandoned. They released this game, and that was it. They didn't tell us about DLC. They didn't talk about expansions. They didn't even talk to us about new multiplayer maps or new multiplayer modes. Unfortunately, they released it and they forgot about it. They just abandoned it, which was very disappointing because I love Halo. I really enjoyed Infinite. It was great. And that was that. But now they have released a recent developer update, and the game is now being review bombed on Steam. So, it says it's no secret that the fan reaction to Halo Infinite's most recent developer update hasn't been very positive. The news that seems to have caused the biggest stir is 343's decision to drop development on local split screen co-op, a feature that's been in the works in some fashion since launch. Sadly, these announcements have led to a bit of a review bomb over on Steam. Now, I'm not someone who buys games and really partakes in split screen co-op. You know, many years ago, I used to love split screen co-op. I personally just don't buy a game going, oh my gosh, there's local split screen co-op, this is great. Of course, I always say the more features for consumers, the better. That is the most important thing to me, is that you are giving people the options that they want and the options that we deserve. And this was a feature that they had been talking about since launch, and before launch they had been talking about how they really wanted to incorporate this feature into the game and they were working on it. And now they've announced that they have decided to drop the development on it, which is so frustrating for so many reasons. Because first of all, there are people who want this feature in this game, and again, people should be getting as many features as they possibly can be. But another problem with this is that they were working on it for, it sounds like, at least a year. I mean, going back, it's been about a year since we at least first heard about it. So you'd think that after working on a feature for at least a year, probably more than that we would be getting it soon. That with the no updates, and last hearing that they were working on it, that they would be close to being able to release this for us. And to suddenly hear that they've dropped the development on it is pretty shitty, especially because this is a game that there wasn't really a big roadmap. There weren't a lot of plans going forward about things that they wanted to add or fix or do or create. And this was one of the very few pieces of updated content that they were going to be providing to consumers. And to just hear that, oh, they're dropping it, and not actually hear about them creating any other content, yeah, is going to piss people off. And now the game is being review bombed because of that. It says in the week or so since the announcements, the Steam reviews have skewed negative, with the platform's tools now judging recent reviews as mostly negative. For now, the overall user reception remains mostly positive from the game's launch through to present day. Now, it's very sad to say this, but no one's really leaving reviews for this game anymore, I doubt. I think that yes, there are still people who are probably purchasing it and playing it, but we're not talking about the excitement and the amount of players that the game had at launch. So of course, throughout those first few weeks since launch, that's when a lot of those reviews were left. And over the past, week and a half or so, they have the game has received nearly 3,000 recent reviews, and they are mostly negative because these people are either coming back to the game or they decided to purchase the game because they were waiting for these features, and now they're just leaving their genuine opinions. It is very unfortunate. Again, I wasn't really going to play the local split screen co-op, but the more features the better, and it is really shitty to suddenly hear that they're abandoning this development. It says some of the reviews within this negative pile do bring up some valid points on the lack of features added to Infinite since launch. One such review reels off an extensive list of features that still aren't present in the Halo title, and it makes for admittedly disappointing viewing. However, as usual with review bombing, there are plenty of reviews in here that don't help the situation at all. This sort of feedback just isn't useful to anyone, and we'd argue that calling Halo Infinite a dumpster fire is more than harsh considering how fun the core game is. Yes, I do agree that the core game is very fun, but again, when you have basically left us in the dust for almost a year, telling us, oh, there's going to be updates, and then not giving us updates, of course people are going to jump at an opportunity like this to leave negative reviews and be like, you know what, this is just a dumpster fire. I love Halo, I really enjoyed Halo Infinite, but as a consumer, I am pretty disappointed that they have just decided to abandon this game. You put out a great core game, okay, you give us a really good story with really great, fluid, awesome gameplay, and then you set it and forget it. And we don't even know what they're working on next. You know, they said that this was a game that they were planning to support for years. They said that Halo Infinite is it for now, that they didn't know what direction they were going in with another Halo game, and they weren't sure if they were going to make a new one in the next few years. They said that Halo Infinite was their plan, was their future. They were going to put time and effort into it. They were focusing on PvP seasons, and, you know, at one point they talked about DLC and expansions, but it's been a fucking year, and we've gotten nothing. We don't even get updates, and that pisses me off so much, is when developers tell us they're going to do all those things, and that's it. They don't update us. It's not like, you know, every week or 2 weeks they're giving us a small update on a website or even social media. This game, everything's been very silent with it, and that sucks, and people are obviously pissed at hearing that one of the very few features in development has been canceled. So Halo Infinite right now is being review bombed on Steam, and I definitely understand why. I wish I could be more positive about this, because again, I did like Halo Infinite. I thought that it was a good game, but they abandoned it. How can you expect me to defend you guys when I am a consumer who spent $60 on this, who did play it, who did like it, and then you've just set it and forget it? So, yeah, that's all that I really had to talk about with Halo Infinite, but it is being review bombed. So, yeah. Let's actually bring up Steam really quickly, and let's see what it's currently sitting at, because this article was from like 2 days ago. Halo Infinite. Yeah, so that was, they were showing the multiplayer aspect, which, as you can see, it is now at almost 3,500 mostly negative reviews. So 147k mostly positive for all reviews, and then recent is 3,419 mostly negative. Yikes, that is definitely not good. That is definitely not good for them. That is for sure. Games as a service model needs to die permanently. Yeah, people are not happy. So, yeah, that's all that I really have to talk about with Halo Infinite. Next, we're going to be talking about David Jaffe and misogyny. Chat, you all are here. You would be considered misogynists. I'm really, really sorry. I'm really sorry, chat. I didn't want to have to tell you. There's no other way, though. You were going to find out eventually. And, well, you found out. You are officially a misogynist. Don't forget to pay your misogyny tax. So yeah, now we're going to be talking about... I think that I might do a video on this tomorrow just because of how fucking ridiculous it is, but we'll see, we'll see. There's always tons of news to cover, and, well, I don't know. We'll see, but I'm leaning towards covering this in a video tomorrow. Brie Larson. Don't we just love Miss Larson? She's great. We love her. Oh, I have an article up on her. Another one. Yeah, unsure of Captain Marvel future amid exit rumors. The other day at the D23 Expo, she had said, so one of the interviewers had asked her, are you going to return as Captain Marvel? And she said, I don't know. Does anybody want me to? She sounded so just salty. Like, she's just very, very bad at interviews. She always seems so very angry. Like, she's so pissed she has to be there. She's so pissed that she gets asked those questions. All the interviewer did was ask her a legitimate question of, are you going to be returning as this character? That was literally it. And she got so mad. Brie Larson is always just so full of herself. To me, that's the way that she comes across in her interviews, yes, is that she's very full of herself. I mean, it's even like a couple years ago when she had that interview with Chris Hemsworth and, you know, he rolled his, well, she rolled her eyes and was talking about how she's a strong female. But anyway, she has always seemed very full of herself. So, guys, okay, BC, please, watch the chats that you're sending. We do not want to be labeled as terrible people because of comments like that. So, guys, this was an article that was posted today. Now, over the years, I've talked about David Jaffe a couple of times, like a small handful of times. I've never had to talk about him too much. He has opinions that I clearly disagree with. He does like to, you know, shit on people that he deems as toxic fanboys. And this was an article from today. God of War director David Jaffe claims male critics of female-led Marvel projects are misogynistic, homophobic, and racist. Now, I have, over the years, definitely criticized a lot of Marvel projects, and I have myself criticized female-led Marvel projects, and I have been called a misogynist. Now, this says that it's only the male critics, so honestly, I'm feeling hashtag grateful, hashtag blessed. I'm not a misogynist tonight, but I have been labeled a misogynist a couple of times in my online career. My internalized misogyny is just seeping through. Honestly, I felt triggered and attacked by this. Okay, I'll stop being sarcastic. It says, in the latest vie for attention from perhaps one of, if not the most unwarrantedly condescending video game developers of all time, the original God of War director David Scott Jaffe has accused male critics of the MCU's female-led projects of being misogynistic, homophobic, racist on the patently false grounds that they don't rag on the shared universe's poorly made male-led entries, which of course is fucking ridiculous. You guys know on my channel, my opinions. I have talked about bad female-led projects, bad male-led projects. It doesn't matter to me if a female or a male is in the lead for a movie. I'm going to view them all the same. I'm going to criticize them if I think they're bad. I'm not against women, clearly. I love women. Women are great. We respect women around here, but the narratives that these male feminists are throwing around are pretty fucking wonky. It says he first began leveling his contradiction-laden and inconsistent accusations, his favorite style of argument, against critics of woke MCU content on September 11th. So this was actually the video that was shared that I was just referencing on social media. I'll play I'll play it for you guys real quick.
How long will you play?
Shut up. I have to mute the music for a second. So this is what I was referencing.
How long will you play Captain Marvel for?
I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
She just sounds so angry all of the time. She sounds just so pissed off all of the time and just so salty. But it says that he... Okay, here you go. Hold on one second. There you go. It says it feels like Brie Larson always goes out of her way to be as unlikable as possible. The man just asked a question. Don't turn it into yet another passive-aggressive session on how you let the internet live rent-free in your head. And then, of course, David Scott Jaffe decided to retweet this and repost this, saying, they can say Captain Marvel is a bad movie, but here's the truth. They don't like Brie because she doesn't give a fuck about them. She doesn't pine for their love or affection. She doesn't need their adulation. She won't kiss the nasty ring of underdeveloped geek men, so they hate her for it. Which is just so fucking absurd. That is just... That's fucking ridiculous. People didn't like Captain Marvel from the very beginning. Yes, that in part was because of Brie Larson. You know, leading up to the release of a movie before we can actually judge the content that's in a movie. Yeah, when an actress is coming out basically saying, fuck the fans and fuck my coworkers, of course people are going to look at her and go, ooh, I really don't like that actress. Does it make me a misogynist for not liking an actress? No. If I don't like an actress, I'm allowed to say I dislike an actress. And after, you know, Captain Marvel came out, even though I didn't really like Brie Larson, I watched Captain Marvel. And it is a bad movie, because it's simply a bad movie. And yes, Brie Larson is a part of that because she's a very poor actress, in my opinion. But, I mean, if you look at me, I don't dislike Brie Larson because she doesn't give a fuck about me. I don't like Brie Larson because she seems very full of herself. And she's just not a good actress. It's just as simple as that. But of course, instead of saying, you know, people are allowed to criticize her. Yeah, I think some people are a little bit too harsh on her. Maybe they don't like her because she doesn't give a fuck about them. You know, he goes into this that, you know, underdeveloped geek men just hate her because she won't kiss their asses. That's fucking absurd. Following up on this initial point, he said they hate Black Widow, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, and Captain Marvel, aka strong women who don't pine for the male approval. They love Scarlet Witch, a woman who literally destroys universes because she can't have the man she loves. See a pattern? It's misogyny, and it's gross. Now, there is one major thing that he is not bringing up here. We do not like these versions of these characters that are in the MCU. Versions of these characters that are not accurate to the ways that they previously were. Look at She-Hulk. In the TV show, okay, first of all, they made her a joke. And yeah, there's always been some comedy there, right? But they completely changed her origin story because she's a strong woman who doesn't need a man to be at the center of her story. People loved the comic book version of She-Hulk. If we look at Black Widow, yes, there are people who've, you know, been very back and forth with the MCU version. I liked Black Widow at the beginning. I liked her for most of the content that she's been in the MCU, but I didn't like the Black Widow movie because, of course, it was the strong, independent woman, the bad CGI, the bad writing and interactions between the characters. I just didn't really like the Black Widow movie overall, but I don't just hate these characters because they're women. And that's what he wants his audience to believe. That, oh, they just hate these women because they're women. What the fuck? They love Scarlet Witch, a woman who literally destroys universes because she can't have the man she loves. People have been very critical of Scarlet Witch. What is he even talking about? Yes, there are people who love Scarlet Witch, but there are also a lot of people who have criticized even Scarlet Witch. We are allowed to criticize characters. Does that mean that we hate them? No, like, I don't hate Black Widow. Did I hate the Black Widow solo film? Yeah, I thought that it was pretty bad. That doesn't mean that I hate the character overall. it's misogyny and it's gross. Yes, guys, because if you hate a movie or you even dislike or criticize a movie with a female in it, then you're a misogynist. If you watch a movie and it happens to star a black actor and you don't like it, then you're a racist. Criticizing a product doesn't instantly make you an hysterophobe. It says, it should be noted that despite his smug demeanor, his entire argument is predicated on an entirely false recollection of the MCU. Not only did the last episode of She-Hulk center entirely around her desire for a boyfriend and even feature an explicit moment highlighting her disappointment that her gen form did not get the approval one man she had a good date with, but Scarlet Witch is not destroying universes for Vision, but rather her children as depicted in the events of Multiverse of Madness. This is also true, is that, yeah, she's not destroying universes for Vision. Yes, in, WandaVision, she did trap a town and basically control them because of Vision, but that's not destroying entire universes. It's not the same thing. It says, met with the obvious truth from a user that his argument also falls apart due to the fact that they've loved Yelena, Shuri, Kate, Jessica Jones, Valkyrie, Nebula, Gamora, or to take it out of the MCU and keep it current. Sure, because nothing about these stories has anything to do with them being women. They simply are women. That's not fucking true, though. I mean, yeah, characters like Black Widow, in the Black Widow movie, the She-Hulk show, it's not just that they happen to be female characters that are the lead. The show and the movies are all about the fact that they're women and that they've undergone issues and trials and that they've struggled. In some cases, yes, it can work, but people are still allowed to criticize it. Just because a movie has a lead female, that doesn't mean that you can't criticize it. It says, but have a geek story be They simply are women, but have a geek story be a geek story that is also speaks... Jeez, you gotta proofread. Speaks to/from the female experience, and the sky is falling to these people because it makes them terribly uncomfortable. I'm a woman. I have no problems with watching movies about the female experience. Most people don't have problems watching movies that center around women that have, female experiences. You're just saying that because you want to paint Marvel fanboys, as you call them, as toxic. But did he not just claim that the male fans love the Scarlet Witch? Right, how does that make sense? So do male fans hate Scarlet Witch because she's a woman, or do they love her and she happens to be a woman? Like, can you make up your mind and give us a clear, concise argument here? It's just very confusing. It says, a character whose entire character arc deals with being a mother and the length she would go in her misguided quest to find them? Yeah. And what of the widespread love given to Jessica Jones' first season prior to its writing going down the tubes in later seasons and causing general audiences, not just men, to lose affection for the Netflix series, which features her rape trauma as a central element of her story? Surely he has to have taken note of the widespread criticism that in Black Widow, Yelena treats the Red Room's standard performance on recruits as a joke, when in Age of Ultron, her sister Natasha was clearly traumatized by the process. To this end, it seems apparent that he was, again, more concerned about getting in a dunk than making any sort of actual point, which is a massive problem that I have with individuals like this on social media. They don't actually want to argue their opinions. They don't want to give people their clear and concise opinions. They see a tweet or a couple of tweets, they respond to them, but their arguments don't make sense. They don't line up. Attempting to give his argument an exit, he said, last thing, do they have points that some of the stories are not fantastic? 100%, but that's almost any movie, and that's fine, but it's the viciousness and consistency with which they beat on the not perfect women films that come off as creepy and worrisome. Okay. There's something maybe he doesn't understand here. is that when we're getting more movies with women as leads, there's going to be more talk about these movies with women leads, simply because more movies with women leads are being produced. The consistency, there are plenty of people online, consumers, who see a movie and who they're just simply watching it, and if they don't like 5 movies in a row, does that mean that they're a sexist? Does that mean they're a misogynist? No, it just means that they haven't happened to like these past few movies. And as I always say, there are always a few bad apples in every bunch, right? There's always going to be people who are going to be genuinely sexist, misogynist, just be toxic, right? But those people exist in literally every fucking group of people. Anyway, guys. Yeah. David Jaffe, ladies and gentlemen. He decided to put up a little Twitter video on it, which I'm not going to show. But he said, I called them misogynistic, or their actions are misogynistic, and immediately they rush to Twitter and go, no, they're just bad. What about how we don't hate Wonder Woman 1? We hate Wonder Woman 1984, you know, and all this shit. Dismissing his valid counterpoint, he snobbed. Yes, you're missing the point. Of course, because he doesn't actually want to debate, and he doesn't actually want people to give valid points. He just wants people to basically shut up and listen to him and say he's right and everyone else is wrong. So, yeah, guys. Lovely, right? Because I'm not saying that you are overtly misogynistic in the sense that you walk around in a t-shirt and say that says women hater or woman hater or whatever the fuck it is they say. You know what the fuck it is they say. You're clearly obsessed with it. It's the consistent badgering and beating up on geek-centric content that you all call woke is the part that's misogynistic, homophobic, racist, alright? Okay, so if I'm a geek and I'm talking about geek-centric content and I happen to dislike geek-centric content that has a woman, that's bad? I mean, if I dislike a movie and I'm a geek, and it's a geek movie, that doesn't make me a misogynist. That just means I'm criticizing it. Of course, it's just these individuals want to label everyone as the worst fucking thing that they can. So, that's all that I really had to discuss with this. Chat, if you are a male critic of female-led Marvel projects, you are now a misogynist. You are now misogynistic, homophobic, and racist, according to this individual. So, yeah. That's all that I had to talk about with that. And we'll move on in a couple of seconds. If you have any last-minute thoughts, feel free to leave them in chat. Of course. We aren't allowed to just criticize bad content. No, it's just that we're this and we're that to these individuals, which of course is fucking absurd. Who doesn't love a good male feminist? Thank you, Raj, for the $1.99 super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Homophobic and racist as well. How does that work exactly? Yeah, he doesn't really go into that. He just decides to label everyone that. He says, it's the consistent badgering and beating up on geek-centric content that you all call woke is the part that's misogynistic, homophobic, and racist. That doesn't fucking make any sense at all. Just because I say I hate a movie with a woman doesn't mean I'm a racist or homophobic either, but he decides to just, instead of just saying, you know, you're misogynistic or your opinion is misogynistic, which is already bad enough, he decides to just go all out and say, basically, if you hate a movie with a woman, you're homophobic and racist as well, which, yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense. Everybody joking in chat. Gosh. Oh, gosh. Hi, little cat. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's instead of just making one point, they just want to paint us as the worst type of people that we possibly fucking can be. So instead of giving like a legitimate reason, hey, this is why you would also be an isterophobe. No, it's just you are. You know, I don't need to explain why I'm labeling you these fucking terrible things. You just have to accept that you're these terrible fucking things. That's okay because he's being bigoted by trying not to understand our view. Actually true, though. What a bigot, honestly. What a bigot. Being closed-minded over there. Honestly, I don't want to associate with someone like that who doesn't actually try to understand another human being's point of view because he is so full of himself. Such a narcissist. Ugh. Addresses every woman he sees as milady. Listen. As a woman, I've never been called milady in like a legitimate fashion. Especially by one of these male feminists, you know? You claim that you're about feminism. Why haven't you ever called me milady? Jeez. Honestly, hashtag triggered. In other news, guys, I heard a rumor that the whole Little Mermaid movie leaked online. I have not found any proof or evidence of this, but I did hear that it happened. I mean, I don't need to call myself a feminist to say that, you know, I respect women. He doesn't have to either. Take notes, men. Just because you like women. You know, that doesn't mean you need to label yourself as a ally or a feminist. I believe in real feminism. Not the feminism he believes in. Milady Bear. No. See, now you guys are only saying it because I pointed it out. No. You guys are just as ingenuine as he is. Just as ingenuine. No. Don't start. Yeah, theater. I didn't see it, but I'm gonna be searching later. Real feminism is a dying breed of feminism. Oh yeah, 100%. I'm a man and an asshole. Good for you, Retro. I'm glad you at least know who you are. Honestly, I'm so proud of you for just accepting who you are. Wow, you've really changed a lot of people in chat, I'm sure. Read his wiki, he criticized Metroid Dread because he's stuck, despite the game already teaching you. I don't know about that. Great time for the milady memes of era. How about no? Just treat all people equally bad and they won't complain, right? That's it. That is, you're baby, you know, you've got a good idea. Good idea. Alright guys, so next we are going to be talking about The Little Mermaid. Now, oh my goodness. Let me just say this before we get into this topic. You know, be respectful in chat. I have had a lot of very loony people over the past few days going on to my previous video, just saying the worst shit about me, simply for giving my thoughts on this movie. And I'm not saying this, like, to just protect me. Just everyone be generally nice to each other, right? You can say, I fucking think this movie is stupid, and that's fine. no personal attacks, right? I've had a couple people say that they're gonna get me deplatformed over my thoughts on this, by the way. So if this is my last stream, it was an honor serving you guys. But the Little Mermaid movie, it's not going very good for Disney. Now, over the past few years, of course, Disney has been putting out all of these remakes and these reimaginings, and they haven't gone very well for Disney. Some of them have you know, sold well ticket-wise and maybe on Disney Plus, but they've all faced some level of criticism. All of them. You know, Cinderella faced criticism because of some of the actor choices, and it also faced criticism because they really didn't go in a musical direction. Of course, like I'm sure a lot of you know, the Disney princess movie is usually a lot of music. The Cinderella movie was heavily criticized because there was really only one song in it, and that pissed people off. Or no, there was two songs. And then The Beauty and the Beast pissed people off for a lot of reasons. For me, my major issue is the fact that they talked with British accents, even though that didn't make sense. And the CGI was pretty good, but the story was very different from the original Beauty and the Beast, and overall, it wasn't really interesting to me. And then the future movies, people have also criticized. Oh, Pinocchio also recently came out, which was a live-action CGI hybrid, which fucking sucks. And everybody seems to be pissed at. And now they're doing a Snow White movie and this Little Mermaid movie, which are very different. They're reimaginings of these characters and their stories, even though it seems like they're trying to make them as close to the originals as possible, but also making large changes, like, in this case, a race swap. But the first trailer for this Little Mermaid movie came out, and it is getting absolutely fucking ratioed. In just a couple of days, it has hit 12 million views, 521,000 likes to 1.5 million dislikes. So clearly there are plenty of people who dislike this movie and who, well, the trailers, the content that we've seen so far, right? I'm not sitting here judging it fully yet because I haven't seen it myself. We've only gotten this in a little bit of leaked content online. But the trailer is getting absolutely destroyed. And there's been a lot of arguing online. Okay, there are people, of course, on the left who were saying, if you do not like these changes, you are a racist and you are a terrible person. But it's his first trailer for the Disney's live-action The Little Mermaid remake, near universally panned for poor visuals and unnecessary existence. Now, one of the main problems that I have had with The Little Mermaid and all of the fighting that's been going on are the double standards. We have seen some people go on social media, and I've also seen this briefly in my comment section. I don't look at my comment section a lot, but I've seen a lot of people saying, you know, she's a fish, you're just a racist, it's okay that she has a darker skin color. I care about, you know, the double standards of the situation. It's like how people are saying, you know, she's a fish, so race doesn't matter. People used an AI, I think this happened yesterday, an AI to change the trailer to make her, you know, lighter skinned and give her red hair and red lipstick, trying to just make her look closer to how she originally looked. And those people who are calling us racists for saying, hey, maybe you should have picked a different actress, those people are freaking out over a fan image. Okay, but I thought race doesn't matter. I thought she was a fish. So you're mad that people are making fan art and fan creations, but you also were the ones who were saying, you know, race really doesn't matter because she's a fictional character. These are the same people who are mad that, like, you know, actors and actresses are being cast in other roles, like James Franco. He was cast as Castro. You know, they were furious that he did that, but they're okay in this case when the Little Mermaid's getting race swapped. It says, in what is most assuredly the opposite outcome to the company and their diehard loyalist expectations, rather than fanfare or praise, audiences have found themselves unimpressed with Disney's first preview of their live-action The Little Mermaid remake. Now, I always say this. If you like a movie and I don't, Okay. I mean, that is perfectly fine. I am allowed to dislike something, and you are allowed to like something. I personally am very skeptical about this movie. If you are 100% excited for it, you think it's going to be fucking great, awesome. I am not sitting here calling for a boycott. I am not sitting here saying, don't fucking watch it or you're a terrible person. I wouldn't say that. If you want to see this, go for it. I personally am seeing a lot of issues. And there were also people saying, you know, you're just a racist and you're trying to cover up your racist opinions by giving other criticisms. I literally, in my other video, gave other criticisms because I have other criticisms, not because I was trying to mask my racism. I said, oh, she's underwater. It doesn't really look like she's underwater. There's no bubbles, you know, it doesn't look like she's underwater. The ocean looks fucking terrible. Right? I mean, there's no bright colors, there's no excitement, it just looks meh. I mean, compared to Avatar, it looks like trash. And I criticized her singing, because I said she sounds too happy, because this is supposed to be a very sad, very dramatic moment for Ariel. Someone had the bright idea to say, clearly she's sad, she's crying. Doesn't that just loop around to the issue I had that I said it didn't seem like she was underwater? How could there be tears in her eyes? Dumb ass. How does that, I'd ask how it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. It says, unveiled on September 9th as part of the 2022 D23 Expo's opening festivities, the film's first teaser trailer opens with a swim over of Ariel's ocean grotto, filled with all the visual flair and clarity of an ocean not teeming with wonder and life. Yeah, to me, I'm gonna be honest, it looks bad. It looks bad. And again, I'm not even just saying her. I'm not sitting here saying that she's the only issue with it. I mean, come on. This is so dull and boring. You could show so many bright colors and different images, and instead they're, of course, going for a realism, which is dark and dreary. I mean, come on. It says, unfortunately for Disney, rather than excitement, the first look at their latest attempt to rehash the iconic works of those who established the company into the entertainment juggernaut that it is today, in service of scoring a quick buck, was instead met with widespread indifference and criticism from audiences. It says, even with the discourse surrounding Ariel's race swapping aside, the film found few fans, as while none took issue with her singing talents, many found The Little Mermaid itself to be soulless, unnecessary, and simply visually unappealing. I mean, people are not just criticizing the fact that they decided to cast a darker-skinned actress in this. That's not the only problem that people have here, but of course they want to paint it as, oh, it's just racist. Just because there's a black woman starring in this movie doesn't mean any criticism is racist. And that is what these people want you to believe, that, oh, you can't criticize a movie because a woman of color stars in it, because that makes you an ist. I mean, look at this article. This is from the Daily Beast. And the article is titled, The Racist Backlash to Halle Bailey's The Little Mermaid is Out of Control. And you would imagine with them writing an article like this, they would have some very solid proof, right? They would be showing screenshots of racist comments made online. There's not any here. They're talking about how there's all this racist, this racist backlash and it's out of control. They highlight this tweet that says, bothers me how this doesn't look underwater at all. That is not racist. That is simply saying the movie doesn't look like it's underwater like it's supposed to. Huh? That's not racism. I'm losing my last brain cell. The Little Mermaid 2023 underwater shots versus Avatar, The Way of the Water. The Way of the Water looks way fucking cooler. But again, that's just criticizing a product. That's not being a racist. That Aquaman movie was garbage, but at least it managed to make it look like they were underwater. If you're going to write an article and you're gonna put this as the headline, I expect to see mean comments. These are just valid criticisms of the actual movie. Ugh, of course. But yeah, guys, right now it's at 1.5. You know what? Let's refresh it. I haven't refreshed it in a couple hours. 1.6 million dislikes now. And of course, the comment section is also, you know, for all of this racist backlash the media is trying to say is happening. The part where Ariel says it's over Anakin, I have the high ground, made me cry goosebumps. The part where Ariel says it's mermaid time gave me so many chills and goosebumps. Holy. Honestly, I also feel very, very, very touched by this. I mean, these are not, you know, disgusting, awful comments. These are just people memeing on this movie. I don't know where this meme started. I don't know who started this meme of, you know, the part where this character says this made me cry and gave me goosebumps. I don't know where this meme template came from, but it is pretty fucking good. It is pretty hilarious. But, yeah, guys. If you have any criticisms to say about the Little Mermaid movie, it doesn't matter what you say. It just makes you a racist, according to these individuals. So... yeah, that's all that I really had to talk about with The Little Mermaid. And, next we're going to be moving into talking about The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, and potential review manipulation, which of course is no fucking surprise. We already know that's going on. But before we get into the next topic, if you have any thoughts on the... I thought I was going to hiccup The Little Mermaid, let me know. Also, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Check out the links in the description and the pinned comment. We need 7 more members to unlock a new emote slot so I can add a new emoji to the channel. If you enjoy the content, become a member. You get access to special emotes. We have 7 right now, right? Or 6. You get a badge next to your name. It also supports the channel. And consider donating via Streamlabs. Donations pop up $3 or more. Text-to-speech activates. And people are threatening to get me deplatformed, so... well, maybe this will be my last stream. Last chance to support, right, guys? But yeah. If you enjoy the content, check out the links in the description, support the channel, and make sure to give it a like, and follow me on social media. Thank you for being here. Meme them until they cry, and then make memes of them crying. It's the beautiful circle of life. It's the beautiful circle of life. I am taking suggestions for the next emote. Again, we still need a couple more members before I can get it made and have it put onto the YouTube channel. But I am taking suggestions, so if you have any, feel free to leave them in Discord. Yes, The Little Mermaid, she does still have a male love interest. But apparently, with her, and also with the, Snow White movie, apparently while they have love interests, they're not... their story isn't just going to revolve around those male love interests. They're gonna be strong, independent women who also do things for themselves. So... yeah, who knows what else they're gonna fuck around with. I don't know. I want a cat thumbs up emote. It's a pretty good idea. Love your stream. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. A Little Mermaid emote. I don't know about a Little Mermaid emote, but... Because, I mean, it is only a tiny emote, but... Lots of different things that we could do. An Autumn emote. Maybe one day. The problem with Autumn is that... It's still like a, you know, a bikini top. Or panties, and technically that could get flagged by YouTube, because it's not like I can just upload any image. Stuff like that, the emotes still have to go through a YouTube review process, and then, you know, they could get blocked. So, yeah. It's not like it's on Discord where I can upload basically any type of emote. Unfortunately, YouTube still has to review it. You know, my suggestion is the best, Vera. It wouldn't pass on YouTube. Well, I guess it could if it's not too questionable. I don't know. Rings of Power emote. What would a Rings of Power emote even be? Also, did the stream dip for you guys at all? For some reason it was doing the little loading circle. I don't know. A cultured emote? What would a cultured emote look like, though? Just cover it up with a strapless top? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know exactly which emote we're gonna have made next, but we do need to start thinking about it at some point here. Stream is fine? Okay, yeah, for some reason it popped up that there was a connection problem, but sometimes YouTube does that even when there's not a problem. Oh, yeah, another live action movie that I haven't really had to talk about too much lately, but it's one of the worst, was the Mulan. Mulan, the live action was just fucking terrible. Like, they went in a completely fucking different direction. Like, they screwed up the romance. They added these witches, which doesn't make sense. The acting from everyone was bad. It just overall, that was just a fucking trash movie. Absolutely trash film. There was nothing about that was good. The cat thumbs up. Yeah, I'll, if you guys have any suggestions, put them in the content suggestion tab in Discord or the supporter chat in Discord, and I can look from there. Yeah, Disney filmed Mulan near, yeah, slave labor camp, which is just a whole other fucking world of a situation itself. I remember when that happened and I talked about it. I was pissed. I mean, I still am. So fucking stupid. The whole movie was bad. Frosk meltdown emote. Oh yeah, we have the sexism in gaming sound clip. I forgot about that. I think she had superpowers, right? Mulan didn't have superpowers, but there was like a witch in the movie that did have superpowers. And that made no fucking sense. But they decided to go that route anyway, and then yeah, Mushu wasn't in it. It was just so bad on so many levels. I don't know what they were thinking with it. Sexist gamer emote? I don't know about that. What do you mean by sexist gamer emote? See, I need, like, some of them I can't visualize. So how am I supposed to tell someone else to create that emote? Yeah, they thank the location in the credits. So fucking Disney. Jesus Christ. Do you need more Frosk sound bites, Vera? Oh, no. One is plenty. Honestly, one is one too many, but we'll keep the one. $10 donations. If you ask me to play a Frosk sound clip of sexism in gaming, I will. Alright, guys. So next we're going to be talking about the Rings of Power. I've been talking about Rings of Power a lot over the past few weeks. When will you be back on YouTube? I'm on YouTube right now. What? I thought I read that wrong. So, I've been talking about the Rings of Power a lot over the past few weeks and past few months. And since the show released, or at least the first few episodes started releasing, we have seen a lot of review manipulation going on. And Rotten Tomatoes, the review score is sitting at a 39% average audience score, which had stayed right around there. We have seen IMDb, the scores be manipulated. Because, of course, IMDb is owned by Amazon. And on Amazon Prime Video, under the Rings of Power reviews, it has been just fucking abysmal for people who actually want to give fair criticisms to the show. Amazon, for days and days and days, didn't open up review scores. And now that the review scores are opened, they've been manipulating them. I had tweeted this out, I believe it was 2 days ago. Let me find it for you guys real quick. I tweeted this out a couple of days ago. 2 days ago, yep. I had tweeted, we welcome discussion and even criticism around the series, which is what the person who runs Prime Video, like the president of Prime Video, said. Then why are you manipulating the review scores? You're telling me the score has stayed almost exactly the same even though 3,281 reviews have been added? It has been stuck at a 3.6 out of 5 stars, and I did share the date. I copy and pasted the date that the screenshot was taken. On the right side of the image, but as you can see, the review scores are clearly being manipulated for the Rings of Power. There's no fucking doubt about it, but now Prime Video is being accused of buying praise for the show. So it says Prime Video and the Rings of Power is being accused of buying praise from Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings YouTubers and influencers after the show has received positive critic reviews despite massive negative reviews from viewers. I do not trust Amazon. I think at this point they could be doing any fucking thing that they could like this. I don't think that they are being genuine, and they're not really allowing genuine criticisms to be posted on this show on any of the platforms that they own and that they can control. I would not put it past them to be paying people off for positive reviews. I really wouldn't. It says not only has the show seen massive negative reviews from viewers, but Amazon announced a change to their review system that was confirmed by a Prime Video representative to Variety, who reported that Prime Video quietly introduced a 72-hour delay for all user reviews posted to Prime Video. It says now a YouTuber posts that Prime Video has been buying praise from Tolkien and LOTR YouTubers. Of course, ones that basically want to suck Amazon off. It says he first points to the numerous influencers Prime Video used in an attempt to hype the show when they flew them to a castle in, how do you say this? Mallorca? Mallorca? Is that how you say it? I don't know. To view the first official trailer for the series. Next, he points to numerous influencers repeating the same talking points after meeting with the show's showrunner, Patrick McKay and JD Payne, at an event in London. However, the most damning evidence comes from a YouTuber named Hello Future Me, who polled his subscribers back in August, asking whether he should take a sponsorship from Amazon for a video on the Rings of Power when it premieres. I'd like everyone to know, I was not offered a sponsorship by Rings of Power. I was not offered a sponsorship by Amazon. Now, obviously, you can tell that because I've only been putting out negative content. But these people do believe all press is still good press. So technically, I'm giving them press by talking about them right now. So technically, that might be seen as positive press. I, unfortunately, was not offered money from Amazon. It's a very sad day for me. It truly is. I could have gotten thousands of dollars from them. I don't know, guys. It's very sad for me. It's a loss. It says the YouTuber asked, how do you feel about me taking a sponsorship from Amazon for my video on Rings of Power when it premieres? If they don't get any say in what I say, I'm conflicted. My problem with sponsorships like this and in receiving money from companies is that as soon as you are offered money to cover something, you feel more inclined to be positive about something because you start feeling good about the company, because it's like, wow, this big company reached out to me, this big company, you know, is giving me a chance and wants to pay me for my genuine reviews. Like, wow, I'm getting paid by them. Like, clearly people are gonna feel fucking biased after they've received money. It says he followed that post up sharing an email he sent to Amazon that notes if he does indeed do a video, Amazon has no veto power over what I say in regards to commentary. This will actually make the video more authentic and make my audience more likely to trust my thoughts on the show. And then after sending this email, Prime Video ghosted him. Well, no fucking shit. I could see that. No fucking shot that Amazon was going to give you thousands of dollars to say fuck this show. No, there's no world that we live in. There's no fucking universe in this multiverse that would happen. Jesus Christ, if I could get paid by Amazon to talk shit about Amazon's shitty shows, I would be rolling in the fucking dough right now. It's sad, but I have to admit to you guys, I have never gotten paid to talk about something that I have publicly shit on. Well, I guess technically, I guess I have, because you guys have paid me. But that's not by a company. By a company, I've never been paid by a company to talk shit about their company. If only, I would be competing with fucking Elon Musk right now. Holy, if only. It says Amazon ghosted me as soon as I said they couldn't pay me to control what I said about the Rings of Power. Well, no shit, of course. Of course. He continued, and that's why over the last few weeks you're getting this entire avalanche, this cataclysm of articles that are coming out and attacking not only the Fellowship, not only all the fans, but they're attacking the professor. They're calling him racist. It says then he closed out his video by saying they're bleeding inside, they're losing, because if they are truly winning, you don't care what anyone says. You're like, you don't get it. Great. You think it's butchered. Wonderful. When you're winning, you know it, and you don't need affirmation from anyone else. It says, and if Rings of Power were a car, it'd be a lemon, and we'd all be under state law to be able to return it back to the manufacturer for a full refund. You guys know my thoughts on the Rings of Power. I have been very disappointed with the show so far. I am still watching it. I'm going to watch all of it so that I can, you know, fully judge it and give you all my genuine thoughts on it as a whole. I think for Rings of Power and also House of the Dragon, I'm going to change my format a little bit. And I think I'm going to actually do full kind of in-depth videos for them, so you guys can kind of hear all of my thoughts at once, maybe in like a 20-minute or half-hour video. We'll see. I don't know yet, though. That's my idea. But yeah, it's... Of course, Amazon is going to want to purchase positive reviews. I'm sure that they have purchased a lot of positive reviews, let's be honest. A lot of these news sites don't give a fuck about integrity. They don't actually care if you respect them or not, but they know that they're getting enough clicks, and if they can get paid by a company to get more clicks and also get paid, of course they're gonna do it. And that sucks to say, but it's true. It says on top of this, Sci-Fi Wire's Danny Roth admitted back in 2019 that the Access media creates fake positivity in order to maintain its access. I have been saying this for years, and it is no surprise at this point that, of course, these journalist hacks would basically put aside their real opinions in order to talk positively about something, to get clicks about something, and also to keep their access. I have said this for forever. But these sites don't really care about putting out genuine feedback. All they care about is getting paid. It's just paid reviewers, and unfortunately it's very normal at this point. It sucks. It shouldn't be this way, but it is this way. It says, in a sense, that I hated a movie, but I won't say that I hated a movie or an actor behaved a sort of way and you don't want to put it out there that that happened, right? Because you might not get to review the next. To some degree, everybody in our industry that is part of this quote-unquote Axis media has decided which battles they want to pick, which of the ones where my voice is, that doesn't make sense. Which of the ones where my voice is the one that has to get said. Okay, that was a little bit confusing, but I understand. But yeah, maybe Amazon is buying positive reviews. Honestly, it wouldn't fucking surprise me. I do not trust Amazon at all at this point, especially seeing the review manipulation that's been going on IMDb and also on the show's webpage. But guys, those are the main topics that I had to talk about tonight. I have a couple of smaller ones that I wanted to briefly chat about. But yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Donate, support, become a member, all of that fun stuff. Links are in the description and the pinned comment. The women are pulling the cart while the man just walks. Well, I guess minor spoiler. It's because the guy is hurt and his ankle is like fucking broken, so he can't pull it, so it makes sense, but it's just so much bad writing. It doesn't really matter. Let's be honest. If you haven't watched Rings of Power yet, you're not going to. If there were no reviews published, the people viewing the show would still complain offline, like used to happen pre-internet days. True. Woke ideology has set the entire entertainment industry on fire. Oh yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the entertainment industry has been on fire for quite a long time at this point. Yeah. Vera needs to go on F&T. I have never been invited on. I've never been invited on any real panel shows. It is what it is. Maybe one day. The rings of circular thinking. Actually true, though. They could have let the ankle broken dude ride. Well, that's also a spoiler, because I guess, spoiler alert, the Meteor Man, which people think is Gandalf because Amazon doesn't actually care about sticking to source material, he was actually in the back of the cart. But I don't know why the fuck they would even do that in the first place, because he's literally like triple the fucking size of them and could probably pick that goddamn cart up with a fucking pinky finger. I don't know. You know what? I don't have the answers, and I don't want to waste my last brain cell trying to come up with them. But yeah, yeah. He should be in the cart, but he's not, and instead they have him walking, even though his ankle is like fucking broken. It's Amazon. That is classic Amazon writing right there. I guess that's what happens when you decide to put shitty writers and amateur writers on one of the biggest projects you'll ever produce. Yeah, Meteor Man, aka Gandalf, not Gandalf. I don't know what they're doing with this show. I don't know. Listen, I'm trying to, when I've been watching it, I've been trying to put the puzzle pieces together. The math ain't mathin'. Gandalf, not Gandalf. Yep. Meteor Man, the superhero? No, that's what we're calling him in this, because there's a guy who came from a meteor, and we think it's Gandalf, even though that doesn't make any fucking sense, because it shouldn't be Gandalf. I think it's just gonna be one of the blue wizards. Oh, this is, okay, here is my tinfoil theory, chat. Now, I know that Amazon probably wouldn't be this good at, these writers are not this good at writing, but I have a theory, okay? Spoiler alert. We see it in the trailer. But you know when, in the Rings of Power, as the meteor is falling, it shows the 4 different perspectives. It shows the elves watching the meteor. It shows the Harfoot watching the meteor. It shows, what are the other groups that it shows? Arendir and his girlfriend Bronwyn watching the meteor. Anyway, there's like 4 or 5 different perspectives watching the meteor fall. I think that there are 2 meteor. I think that those shots were lined up perfectly and it's not actually the same meteor. I think that because there's supposed to be 2 blue wizards that are in Middle Earth right now. I think that there's 2 meteors. And I think that the 2 blue wizards came from the meteors. And we just happen to be meeting one. And when they find the stars, the other wizard will be at the other stars. And, yeah. Then, I don't know. We might have, you know, gay wizards or something. It's Amazon. But that's my theory, is that there's 2 meteors. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I really appreciate it. No. The wizards did not all come to... Well, okay, so... They didn't. It was 2 and then 3. Even though it does get a little bit foggy because in some writing it says that they all came at the end of the 3rd age, and then some of the writing says that the 2 blue wizards came in the 2nd age and the other 3 came in the 3rd age. Who knows what Amazon's doing? You're giving the writers way too much credit. I know. I'm sorry, but it's... You know, that would have been good. But I am giving the writers way too much credit. But it could make sense, because, I mean, there are 5 different perspectives all across Middle Earth. So there could be 2. I don't know. I'm trying to do something here. Deep Thoughts of the Varadark Gay Wizard Edition. It's Amazon. Amazon hired mediocre writers for the most expensive TV show ever. Yeah, the Ishtari came in groups of 2. That sounds way too complicated for their poor writing skills, Vera. It would have been good, though. Like, they end up showing it back. That, like, oh, they're actually 2 different perspectives and they're 2 different meteors. It's not actually the same meteor. And then that's how the 2 blue wizards come together in the 2nd age. Because there should be 2 right now. But, I don't know. Why would you take a meteor from Valador? Listen, Rover, this is Amazon, okay? Do not ask me. We do not have the answers here. I'm just trying to scrape together something with this shit show. But yeah. That's my theory. Thanks for listening, chat. I really appreciate it. Honestly, I've been meaning to get that out of my system for like 2 weeks at this point. Oh, here's another side article that I wanted to show you guys tonight. It's got Gamergate in the title because we can't let go of Gamergate, even though it happened when I was literally a teenager. I was like 14 when Gamergate was going on. And these people cannot let Gamergate go. This was an article from a month ago. I didn't know that this article released, but I found it. I don't remember how I found it, but I found it. Why the Grand Theft Auto rumors feel like a Gamergate throwback. If I took a shot every time I saw the word Gamergate, I would be drunk all the time. Backlash to GTA 6 is giving Gamergate. Some fans weren't happy to hear that Grand Theft Auto 6 might feature a female protagonist, and the reaction is giving us a real throwback moment to a saga that began back in 2014, known as Gamergate. There's rumors that the video game developer behind Grand Theft Auto, they literally say the video game developer. They can't even fucking say Rocks. That, like, the video game developer? That's it? It says the developer behind the Grand Theft Auto franchise is cleaning up its frat boy culture, according to sources from the company who weren't authorized to speak publicly. A Bloomberg profile on the issue from Jason Schreier mentioned the next installment would include a female playable protagonist, according to people familiar with the game. The company, Rockstar Games, hasn't actually confirmed it yet, but a certain corner of the internet, are there technically corners? Is already up in arms. One Twitter user called GTA 6 the woke edition, while another user complained that the fantasy of living rebelliously, that's spelled wrong, will be devalued from the new game. Now, of course, do they, you know, do they go, okay, people are being critical already, maybe tone it down a bit? No, of course not. The situation ultimately begs the question of whether the gaming industry has become more inclusive since the infamous 2014 Gamergate. You really can't tell? I mean, the gaming industry was already inclusive before Gamergate. Gamergate was just this fucking giant marketing ploy by a couple of feminists who wanted to get popular, and they literally didn't. They didn't. It didn't work out the way that they wanted. Gamergate wasn't just one incident, but a series of unfortunate events, mostly online, that built up to a frenzy. In short, it was the name of a hashtag an online community largely based in the US that claimed it was fighting for ethical game journalism and the way that games were discussed in the media. Now, I actually will give them props because they do actually talk about how, you know, it was supposed to be about fighting ethical game journalism. So I'll give them like 3 claps out of 6 for that. But of course they say, but it what actually did was hide its true agenda of intense misogyny and hints of white supremacy. So also fuck yourself. Gamergate, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Gamergate predated Trump being elected and the January 6th Capitol riots, both of which The Guardian and Vox believe were inspired by Gamergate's influence. I have not heard that the January 6th Capitol riots were inspired by Gamergate. That is a first. That is a first for me. Did you guys know about this? Damn, I would have went. I mean, come on, really? Some bullshit that happened in 2014? So you're telling me The Guardian and Vox said that Trump being elected was inspired by Gamergate? Okay, listen. I'm gonna need a couple of shots for that one. Those fucking gamers got someone elected. Oh boy, those fucking gamers. Jesus Christ. I can't. I'm sorry. The consensus is that Gamergate kicked off in August 2014 by a particularly salty blog post about the game designer Zoe Quinn who someone killed himself over. But we'll come back to that. A few years before that, in 2012, there was a ton of backlash against the feminist media critic Anita Sarkeesian. She had a YouTube channel where she talked about tropes and cliches about women in movies and TV, which branched out into gaming, particularly around the sexualization of women in games. I've thought about making the opposite of feminist frequency and the opposite of the tropes shows that she did. Where I just rag on people like her who say the industry is not diverse even though it has been. I've thought about it. Should I start a GoFundMe? The backlash she received made international headlines, including in Australia. Wouldn't Australia also be international? Just, you know, fuck fuck Australia. They're just different. The critic was subjected to doxing, death threats, rape threats, and bomb threats because of it. This incident also coincided with a general shift of the gaming industry becoming more inclusive. The gaming industry didn't become inclusive because of Anita Sarkeesian. The gaming industry was always inclusive. gaming news sites like Kotaku and Polygon covered the backlash, and soon she became the poster child for what this subset of gamers apparently feared most: women making changes to the gaming space. Gamers didn't fear women making changes to the gaming space. Gamers feared people like her coming in trying to destroy the industry because that is what was best for her. That's all she ever fucking wanted. Anita Sarkeesian isn't a gamer. She wanted to destroy the gaming industry and she failed, which I'm fucking glad for. Okay? But she tried to ruin the fucking gaming industry. That's why people hate her now. Not because she's a woman. Who gives a fuck? Being a woman is not very special. I'm just gonna say it. Being a woman doesn't make you special. You're just another human being. Get over yourself. Zoe Quinn in Oh, also, thanks guys for being here. Because I'm a woman, feel free to donate. I really appreciate it. Zoe Quinn, an American game developer, released a game in 2013 that got great reviews on sites like Kotaku. Then in August 2014, her ex-boyfriend wrote a scathing blog post about her, including an allegation of sleeping with a journalist from Kotaku. And that explained all... And how that explained all that positive coverage. And like Sarkeesian, the online abuse that followed was brutal. Now, of course, she doesn't... Or this writer, okay? I don't want to assume Leah Kim's gender, but they don't talk about how that ex-boyfriend of Zoe Quinn's ended up killing himself because of reasons. While the Gamergate hashtag is used here and there on Twitter and the movement is largely over, but the undercurrents of misogyny and sexism in gaming were present long before Gamergate and still persist today. Which brings us to the new GTA. This is literally a fucking useless article. They start with why the Grand Theft Auto rumors felt like a Gamergate throwback. All they wanted to do was bring up Gamergate. They don't give a fuck about this new game. Literally, the last fucking paragraph is the only part of this whole article that is about Grand Theft Auto. Developers say that the new game will follow a Bonnie and Clyde narrative. They didn't even spell Bonnie's name right. I was like, has there always been a Y here? No, you didn't even fucking spell it right. And that the character will be Latina. Anonymous employees at the studio say the company is attempting to transform a boys club into a real company. Only time will tell if enough Grand Theft Auto fans are on board. All they wanted to do was write a piece about Gamergate and say fuck gamers because gamers suck. They didn't actually want to talk about Grand Theft Auto. So they labeled it as, it felt like a Gamergate throwback. And they labeled it, Grand Theft Auto. But they don't actually really talk about Grand Theft Auto. But I'm using an article because fuck Junkie. I'm not going to support them. I'm not going to give them my click. So, yeah, I wanted to show you guys that article. Wanted to see what you guys thought about it. It's just an elaborate excuse to bring back Gamergate. Well, according to these Looney Tunes, Gamergate hasn't ended. Gamergate is still going on to this day. Apparently, Gamergate has been going on for all these years, according to these individuals. Which, of course, is absurd. And, Gamergate has not been going on this whole time, but these people want, to convince us that Gamergate's been going on this whole time. So yeah, guys, those are the main topics I had to talk about tonight. If you have anything you'd like me to chat about, feel free to leave it in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in chat as well. I'll wrap up stream in like 15 minutes. But yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Donate, become a member, subscribe. Thanks for being here. You thought that... You thought I don't know why, but it took a minute for it to kick in my brain. You thought the aliens built the pyramids? Nope, it was Gamergate. That, we need to make a shirt. We need to make some kind of fucking shirt with that, because I'm gonna be honest, I would not wear any other merchandise. That one was good. I started reading it and it didn't click in my head until I had actually read it. That was good. Whoever wrote this garbage should lose their journalism license. Oh, well, that's the problem, is that these garbage activist wannabe hacks don't have to have a journalism license, or there'd be no journalists. These people can't make it in any other industry, so they have to come to the gaming industry and try to destroy it. They don't actually care about gaming. They only care about making money. Gamergate gave Eve the apple. Ay, ay, ay. I fought in the Gamergate Wars merch. Jesus Christ. There's gotta be other merchandise like that, but... The problem is that I sit here and I'm talking about Gamergate, right? And... And there's still so many people who don't even know what Gamergate really is. Who wants this? Like, Stranger Things is good, don't get me wrong, but I know for a fucking fact that as soon as the main series ends, it's not gonna work. No one's gonna care about Stranger Things anymore. Any kind of knockoffs or separate series, it's not gonna work because it's not like a Game of Thrones. Nah, that's a no. We need I Survived Gamergate shirts. That one's good. We need to find some artists. I have some ideas for merchandise, but I don't know any artists to work with. If there are any artists that you guys like, that you'd like to see design some merchandise, let me know. I mean, Stranger Things is good, but do we need a whole cinematic universe? No, not at fucking all. Oh yeah, Tears of the Kingdom releases May 12th, 2023. I'm pretty excited for it, guys. It's quiet, I'm sorry. I'm very excited for Tears of the Kingdom. I have to replay Breath of the Wild. It's been I had only played Breath of the Wild like 1.5 times. I didn't ever replay it fully, but I played it like 1.5 times. I definitely need to though before this comes out. Maybe I'll stream it. I don't know. Do you guys want me to stream Breath of the Wild? This shit looks sick. Actually me. I don't have to worry about falling off of a ledge. I need to buy a couple copies of this game now. See, you don't die when you fall off of a ledge. It was made special for me. Ah. Ding. What else is here? Oh yeah, season 3 is wrapped filming, and they said they're writing, and yeah, they'll be writing and filming season 4 and season 5 back to back. I hope that doesn't turn out bad. We'll see. One gate to rule them all. Well, yeah. But everything's got a gate now. Varaverse is better than Gamergate. We need the Gamerverse. That sounds like NFT hell. Oh yeah, they're putting GoldenEye on the Switch. On Switch Online. And they're like fixing the online capabilities or whatever. That's pretty exciting. Remember when being a journalist actually required a degree in journalism and a license? Yeah, me too. Yeah, it doesn't work that way anymore, though. It does not. If it did, things would be much different. Huh? A Stranger Things and Deadpool crossover? Oh, he said it was okay, he said it was a joke. I don't know. Should I believe you? Varaverse can only save us from Gamergate, clearly. Yeah. This whole Game of Thrones thing is so fucking stupid. They're literally talking about bringing back these two younger actresses in season 2 when they were the ones who decided to cut them out of season 1 because they're only in 5 out of the 10 episodes of season 1. You should have just made the whole season with them. So stupid. I mean, I love them. I think that they're great so far as their characters, but there's too much time jumping. That's the problem. Now you're talking about bringing them back for flashbacks in season 2. You should have just kept them for season 1. I've never played a single Zelda game in my entire life. Zelda is very fun. I would definitely recommend playing some kind of Zelda game. For sure. Some of them are longer. Like Breath of the Wild is pretty long. But I would definitely recommend playing them. Yeah, well that's what I'm saying, is that the show has way too many time skips. And now they're talking about bringing them back for season 2 and like flashbacks. If you had just given them the whole first season, there wouldn't have been a problem. But you're time skipping so freaking much. It's not going to make sense. Emilia Clarke in Secret Invasion. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel excited for Secret Invasion. Are any of you guys excited for it? They didn't think we would love them. I think that they should have realized, though, there was going to be pushback to the massive time jumps. That's the issue. They didn't expect them to be favorites. Now they want to milk it. Yeah, but again, it's like they should have known that there was going to be backlash to the time skipping. So you'd think that they would have went, okay, are people going to like these actresses? Or are people going to be sick of them after a couple episodes? I don't know why they would come to the conclusion that they wouldn't be fan favorites. Disney Marvel sucks. Yeah, I'm just not excited for Secret Invasion at all. Like, I think that Emilia Clarke's a good actress. I do. Don't twist my words. I'm not trying to say that she's not. But I just don't have any hype for Secret Invasion or really any of the upcoming Marvel projects. I was excited, but Gamergate killed my excitement. Now you have to change your username from Just for Laughs to Just for Cries with a cry emote. It's the only thing that can be done.
Rover
Rebrand.
donated $50.
Thank you.
Have you tried the Voodoo Mystery Mountain Dew flavor?
I think that one came out last year as well, right? That's the white one. The sus looking one. I haven't seen it this year, but I did try it. I think it was last year when it came out, or the year before. But thank you for the $50... I was going to say super chat, and then my mind blanked. Thank you for the $50 donation. Do you want a Sexism in Gaming Frosk voice clip? Please say no. Thank you for the $50. I have not, if they changed it this year though, or if I'm not thinking of the right flavor, then I haven't tried it. I still have Flaming Hot Mountain Dews, and I still have the Gingerbread Mountain Dew. Yup, that was the one that came out last year as well. Then I did try it last year. I haven't seen it around this year though. Gamergate is listening. Be careful, guys. Be careful, chat. Damn you, Gamergate. Yeah, I hear about Secret Invasion, and I'm willing to give anything a chance. I'm just not sitting here going, oh my god, it's gonna come out, yay! We like the other Frost clip I sent you, Vera? What other Frost clip? Hold on, let me turn my monitor, well, my display off so that I don't, leak anything. Here, I'll scroll back up. Did you post it the other day? Oh, I thought you meant you just posted it. Well, you have to tag me then. Because for some reason, Discord is broken. Is it this one? Here's another. This one was from the other day.
But I actually want to talk about something so much more important. Sex. 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 Sex.
Okay, theater. Okay. Okay, slow. Okay, calm down now. Okay. Listen, that one is a little more questionable. Okay then. Well, you got it for free. Gamergate flavored Mountain Dew. Maybe one day. Okay. It was a good interview. Chris. Ah, shit. Chris. Stop. Listen, Chris. I don't know what we can do for you, but we need to figure a plan out for you. You're calling Frosk's edited voice clip hot. That is, you have some serious issues, my friend. It is, it's time to get you some help. I think Theater is a bit sus in my honest opinion. What if Theater is Frosk? Theater, how long have you been in this community? I mean, I don't have a certain date, but you predate Frosk, right? Oh shit! Now I've got questions. I don't know. Suddenly everything's kind of sus. The heart wants what the heart wants. I don't think that's your heart talking, Chris. I mean, Chris has a thing for everyone that thinks Gamergate was real. An Intellivision Amico emote. The Intellivision Amico is dead. Oh, it is kind of sad. I was initially hopeful for the Amico. I made bad Alec Baldwin jokes, Vera. That's when it started. So, you were here after Frosk. So, there's a lot of questions. Uh-oh. Yeah, would explain why Theater sexualized all females. Honestly, Theater, I think you've been found. I think it's time to change your username. I think we know. Gamergate gave my grandma COVID. What the fuck? What the fuck? I want the KFC console. Yeah, honestly, that would be great. I'm gonna try to get my greasy Kentucky Fried Chicken fingers on one. It's too bad. It's not real. That would be pretty good. But alright, you guys. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do appreciate it. The next stream will be on Thursday. Metal Hellsinger comes out on Thursday, so I think that I will be streaming that on Thursday and then over the weekend. But, of course, I'll let you guys know. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. Check out the links in the description. Follow me on social media. Join our Discord server. We're active there. And of course, I tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you of the live stream. And yeah, next stream will be on Thursday. Of course, no video today, but videos yesterday and videos tomorrow. But alright guys, with that being said, thank you for the donations, for the support, for being here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening.